It's the funny Spooderman back for another playthrough. Welcome to Enter Electro, everyone. It's just two of us this time, but hopefully we can do this well.
Yeah, we can. Like, this... It's not... Well, every time... I've done a two-man commentary before, and... Well... In the past, we've managed to make it work, but I don't think since I've been in Seas we've had any people less than three, any number less than 3.
Yeah, I think I've done, like, just 2 people, like, commentary before. I think I've done that with at least Xavier, and it didn't... I remember it not really going so well, but hopefully this will be fine.
We'll make it as entertaining as we can do.
Yeah, because, yeah...
Also...
We're like I think we're the only people in Seas that have actually played this game. Like, not even Hub's played this.
Yeah, wait, what? Hub?
Yeah, Hub's not played
Mr. fucking Spider-Man has never played this game.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that, I swear to God.
I think this is the only 3D Spider-Man game he hasn't played, and he's told me that he doesn't like being in playthroughs of games he's never played before. Because otherwise he probably would be here.
Well, does he have a PS3, is what I want to know.
Probably. I haven't asked him.
I'm very tempted to send him a copy of this game.
Yeah. This nice little recap of the last game.
That leaves one question.
Well, that was... Oof. Big oof.
It's interesting how they used, like, the Dreamcast models for this, because this game... Like, Enter Electro specifically was only released for the PlayStation, as opposed to the first game, which was released on, like, basically everything. So
the sequel didn't get released on next-gen hardware like the Dreamcast?
Yeah, no, it's only the PS1 this time. I feel like a lot of that has to do with the time this game came out, because, like...
God, this is giving me a flashback. I haven't played this game since, like, the early 2000s, maybe, like, the late 2000s, or fucking stretch, like, 2005. I used to frequent this game so much.
I love the menu. Like, yeah, it's just...
You don't get menus like that anymore.
Yeah.
Instead, maybe in some odd occasions, but, like, there just seems to be, like, nowadays, a set format for how UIs are laid out for main menus.
Yeah.
You get your big logo at the top. Some big artwork, or 3D model takes up like most of the screen, and then very faintly at the far left or far right is the small text, which you're supposed to have to fucking see.
Yeah. I enjoyed this era for games when there were, like, a lot more experimental and, like, when a lot of things weren't fully figured out yet.
And when Activision actually had a reputation to be able to salvage rather than having Bobby Kotick hanging over the fucking head.
God.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Vicarious Visions, though, some of the best developers in the business even nowadays. It's just too bad that they're relegated to a Call of Duty like side developer now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they really do much else nowadays, if they even really can. But yeah, Vicarious Visions have done a lot of good stuff. Like, they
did Crash Insane Trilogy. I know that much.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Yeah, they've done that.
They've done They've done the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games.
Welcome, true believers.
Well, they did the remake. I don't know if they made, like, any of the original games, but, like, yeah.
Also High Standard.
Found our arachnid hero yet again. So get ready for a pulse-pounding, web-slinging tale of shocking
if you get the chance to, like, drag them over the side of... What?
I gotta bring this up as well. This was for, like, I don't know when I recorded this, but this was uploaded, like, what it says on YouTube, like, 5 years ago, and I
13th November 2017. Bloody hell.
So I'm gonna say this right now. I have no recollection of what how I've done in the gameplay or what I've edited. So yeah, stuff like that is gonna be as much as of a surprise is going to be for you. So yeah.
Well, all I'm going to say is it's going to be a learning experience for the both of us.
You are correct, sir. Since you're so smart, why don't you try?
Also, yeah, you know when you drag the guys, like the bad guys, over the edge of the edge of the like, buildings or crates in that one level in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Like they can make the funniest fucking screams as you go hurtling towards a death.
Yeah.
Like that sounds morbid as hell, but it's true.
Yeah, we brought up Vicarious Visions a second ago. This is not the same developers as the first game.
Wait, what the hell's going on here?
Okay, I think I'm trying to web yank. Or I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, this is not the same developers as the first game, because Neversoft made Spider-Man 2000 or Spidey PS1 or whatever you want to call it.
Thinking of who probably did the original. Oh wait, I forgot about the homing attack.
Yeah.
But the that's what I was thinking of when I was talking about the Tony Hawk games, because the name Neversoft does make me know. It does make me think, yeah.
Yeah, I think they made most of those games. I know that like when they closed down, they basically just burnt down the like the statue for like their logo with the giant eye and all that. So that
that's sad.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot of fun at least.
Yeah, Neversoft, you could tell was a company of actually passionate developers.
Yeah.
Now this looks intriguing.
I don't know.
Oh look, yes, a crane. It is very intriguing. Thank you, Beast.
Yeah, I don't know when Neversoft became defunct, but I think
Exercise caution at any.
I think like Activision. I'm gonna guess like just gave this game to Vicarious Visions because a bunch of the other
That was very weird. It looked like you kind of stood up like in the middle. It just clipped for like a split second before it decided, hey, no, you're supposed to be on that part of the crane, not this part of the crane.
Yeah. This is a really old game. Like this is, I don't know if this is like more less buggy than like the first game, but it's still like very like whatchamacallit. It's not like super glitchy or anything like that, but it's definitely like a product of its time.
Yeah.
However, did you become
I was gonna say because it makes me wonder how well this game would actually look if it was on a Dreamcast instead. Because I've never seen the Dreamcast version, the original Spider-Man game. I can only go by what I've seen of the PS1 version.
Yeah, this definitely looks better than the first game PS1 wise. I think they tried to make it like more in line with how the Dreamcast version of the original looks, but considering it's still the PS1, you can only really go so far with that.
It definitely looks like one of the better games on the PS1.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of goes into what I was saying earlier, like, because this game came out so late into the system's lifespan, I imagine, like, Activision gave this game to Vicarious Visions because a lot of the other studios in the branch or whatever were busy doing other things.
They were probably preparing for the PS2's launch.
Yeah, especially since the movie games were a thing after this. So I imagine a lot of time was spent on that.
Yeah. When is this one? When did this one come out? Actually,
I don't know. I can't imagine it was any later than 2001.
Then the PS2 would have already been out.
Yeah, because I know the first game was 2000, so kind of just yeah. I don't know if this like came out like a year after the first one or what, but
yeah, 2001.
Okay, so yeah, that kind of explains a lot of things as well. Because I gotta be honest, I straight up didn't know this game existed until like 2012, 2013, and I was like really surprised when I found out about it because no, like. a lot of people talk about the first game as like this big like childhood thing, including myself, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about this one, and I feel like a lot of it is due to when like the time frame of when it came out.
It's one of those things where you think of when did Shantae come out, and it was already, and the Game Boy Advance was already out by that point, but they decided to put it on the Game Boy Color.
Exactly, yeah.
And because of that, it became one of the most obscure games until like indie developers became more mainstream than they were.
Yeah, like the timing of a game has a lot to do with like success and with stuff like that. Because if like the next console is already out or like about to be out, there's a good chance your game is gonna just be forgotten really quickly if you like release it for the previous console, I feel.
Yeah, if maybe like the last year of its console life cycle, then I can understand because.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Street hoops, anyone?
Oh, what are you gonna do with that? I can't say I ever did anything with that basket. Oh, can you do it?
This is really awkward.
Ah. Oh. Hey.
Nothing but nets.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to do it multiple times to get stuff, but it's really awkward to get there.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying, like I know that the original, I know that like the Sega Saturn came out in '95. Oof. God, that get him soundbite is just etched into my mind from when I was so young.
You should have called for backup.
There.
Yeah.
A little paint and bond to fix things here.
God, who voiced? I don't even know who voiced Spider-Man in this.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the same as the first game, but I don't really know.
Does this look right to anyone?
Go boom. But yeah, it's the Sega Saturn was out in '95, and but Sonic 3 and Knuckles came out in like '94. Like in both times, like both releases were in '94. So it's like that was the last year of the Mega Drive life cycle in essence.
Yeah.
But then you think of something like Donkey Kong Country. What the original? I think the original DKC came out in like '94 as well. Wasn't that right? Or was that '95?
I don't know. Honestly, I just know that like the country games were like advertised as being like look at these high-tech graphics for this day and age and all that.
Look at these graphics, and then the gameplay is what people remember a lot about it as well.
Yeah.
That and the music. Sticker Bush Symphony is just beautiful.
Yeah, I think
remains one of the best pieces of video game music to this day.
Oh yeah, I think they advertised the country games to like try and they were trying to go up against like Aladdin or something on the Mega Drive, or like they're basically just trying to outdo like Sega in terms of like graphics and stuff, which was like a big deal back in the day.
But the thing is as well is when people say, "Oh, the Mega Drive couldn't have handled stuff like that." Yes, it fucking could. They could handle stuff that the Super Nintendo needed the Super FX chip to do.
Yeah.
Without the need for a Super FX chip.
The thing you have to realize with like Donkey Kong Country is that Rare had to do a lot of like
wizardry.
Wizardry to make it work in the first place. Like it's not something you can just do. You have to like finagle with the hardware a lot to make it like function.
Like it makes you wonder really, like what, like how Rare would have, what Rare would have done with the Mega Drive if they were alternatively a Sega developer rather than a Nintendo developer.
Yeah,
Right around
I do know.
They would have.
Yeah.
They would have kept the Mega Drive going until they could actually make the Saturn a decent, better capable machine.
Yeah, because I know like one thing they had to sacrifice a lot with the Country series that is the frames. Like a lot of like enemies and like characters and all that have like fewer frames than what they were like designed to have, because like you can't fit so much data on the cartridges. And like I think when they were asked one time, like, if you could, like, remake the games now, what would you do? And it's just like, can we get our frames back?
Yeah.
Because you have to sacrifice.
It doesn't make them any less good games though. Like they're absolute they're absolute masterpieces as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's like another thing I like about like the old school era for games is not just the fact that like experimental and all that, but also the fact that like the limited hardware forces developers to be a bit more creative and like think outside the box more. Because
there was like, you go on.
I was just gonna basically end that by saying like games nowadays, like consoles, like they don't really have like limits to the same extent that like these old systems did. So developers can cut. Their limit is basically their own imagination at this point. Whereas back in the day, it was a much different story.
I think there was a video on that I think I might have showed it to you at one point by somebody called Nocturnal Fudge, who was talking about how actually I've met the guy. It was saying that it was quoting someone that said that the more the limits there are that you have to work with, the better your imagination gets to be able to fill in the gaps. Or something similar to that, but like
I don't know if I've seen that video specifically, but I have heard that phrase before.
It was more. I think it was on a video that compared like how 2D platformers worked versus like the 3D platformers that came later.
Yeah.
So I'll link you this video. I'll link you the video after we've done all these, or like after we've finished this commentary. But it's definitely worth a watch if you want to look at the thought process behind it.
Yeah, it's interesting just seeing the differences between like was it console generations and whatnot, because you can just see how things changed and evolved over time.
It's also interesting because like the
You go on ahead.
nice like the difference in consoles between the 8th and 9th generations is actually so minuscule. The biggest thing is like pretty much the power at this point.
Yeah, I feel like the differences in generations is starting to get like really small. It's like the for me the benefit of like the new it's the end of the part. But like just to end this real quick, like the benefit for me anyway is just the quick load times and the better performance. Like I don't really care that much for like better graphics, but beyond like what we have now. Like it's definitely nice, but I generally just prefer performance.
I prefer performance, and I just prefer sitting down and playing a good, solid fucking video game. Right, I like something to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, not to fucking, not to like look at and then have a miserable time playing. Like, the graphics. Yeah, the graphics are amazing. Yeah, but fucking hell, like if it plays like shit, I'm not gonna have a good time.
Yeah, because that's basically why I'm a Nintendo fan to begin with, because yeah, their consoles aren't like as powerful as the competition, but they make good games, and that's what I'm here for. So it's like
exactly. Like if this is going to sound very narrow-minded, but if I wanted to look at something that looked nice, but that's about it, I'd watch a fucking movie.
Yeah, and I will say, like I do like good graphics as much as the next guy, and I enjoy just basking in that kind of stuff in a game, just to take in the atmosphere, but I don't need that to enjoy something.
Exactly. When a game plays so smoothly, then that's all I need.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. See you guys.
See you guys next part.